she's good enough now. She could be easily a top heel here. So let's go with that. And when they shake things up again on the rosters, hopefully they'll identify her as being the top heel wherever she goes, because I think she's that good. I could see her and Becky, for instance, in a long program if they played it right, if they strategically did this properly, Matt, how they used to, and really thought ahead of the time. They could easily make these amazing programs. But unfortunately, the reason we're talking about this match the way we are is because they really haven't done a lot of early planning for this. It's just a little bit of a shame. It's because it's kind of come out of nowhere. Started on that promo on Bliss, and it's just like, well, how come it's taken this long? So it's a little bit of a shame. I do think the match is going to be really good, though, and in fact, this might outdo the other one, but time will tell. It depends how they book it, of course. But for me, I have to go Ronda Rousey as retaining the title here by no mistakes, and I can only see Ronda going into WrestleMania now as the champion. I would be very shocked if WWE went with Sasha Banks now, but maybe it would be a nice surprise. I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but for me, I can only see Ronda Rousey retaining. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I think there's too much to gain from both of them just by having Ronda win, because Ronda wins, carries her undefeated streak into WrestleMania, Sasha loses, and then shifts her focus to the women's tag team titles. That's the way I see that.
Fair enough there. So, that's our predictions there. Don't forget, folks, if you want to get in touch with us, had a few emails as we've gone on. We're going to read them out at the end. But if you don't want to email the show, it's wrestleline@gmail.com. Okay, Matt, well, let's now go on and feature the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble match. And interestingly, this year, Matt, WWE have used the social media platform of Twitter to do a lot of the announcements of who's in. I don't know if you've noticed that this year, but if that's their way of saying, we can announce these things. I think Nia, Nikki Cross, Lana, a few others, Tamina, they all sort of announced on their own Twitter page that they're in it, and it was, I don't know if that's the new thing now, but and of course a lot of the others on the shows, but there is a little bit of a list. There's an official list going on here, but I'm suspecting, Matt, 30 women needed here. They're going to have to probably go to some older generation wrestlers here, as well as maybe some NXT. I don't know. But what do you think about this, Matt? Because last year, I actually went back and listened to our review of this, and of course this went on right at the end, Matt. I think you remember this is where Ronda come out at the end, and one of my criticisms was the fact that every time a woman came out, Stephanie or one of the announcers, Michael Cole in general, would say everything about the wrestler coming out. It was normally a legend, like, I don't know, Tori Wilson or Trish or whatever, and they'd say, yeah, she's done all this and this is where we're at now, and that must have been the same damn sentence every time somebody came out, like they'd helped to get it. I'm hoping we're past that now, Matt. We're at year 2. I'm hoping we've now sort of got to grips that there is a women's Royal Rumble, and it is what it is. Let's concentrate on who wants to get it, and instead of having 30 women standing together just really grateful that they're in a match. I mean, it's ridiculous. It was like nobody cared about winning the damn thing. They were just happy to be in it. It was just really odd. So I'm hoping this year, Matt, is a little bit more of a competitive edge here, and they're gonna, it's all about how the announcers call it. That's the problem. It's how it's produced. But I'm hoping they're going to do a better job of that, Matt, this year, and leave off some of that other stuff. But one of my criticisms last year when I went back, Matt, was I thought that because of the amount of legends they had to bring back, I felt like they should have probably stripped it down to 20. They've gone with 30 again, and I get they want to be equal, but you've got to look at numbers here. And for me, I just don't want to keep seeing so many legends coming out, or so many wrestlers that aren't active be a part of it sometimes. And I know they have got more of a roster here, but I don't know. Are they going to be able to fill this one up, Matt, better than last year? Or do you think there's going to be the same sort of thing where we're going to get quite a few sort of older names come out again? I'm not saying you should get at least 4 or 5, because that's part of the Royal Rumble anyway, but I just don't want to see the whole thing sort of tagged with it all the time. What about for you, Matt? Do you think they're going to be able to do a better job this time?
I did look into this a little bit,
Mhm.
and it was interesting. You said that the women were coming out on social media, like announcing that they would be involved in the Women's Royal Rumble. I feel like, as a viewer watching it, you almost think to yourself, "Are you female? Are you on the main roster? And you're in the Women's Royal Rumble?"
Yeah.
It's like a given that they're in it. And I think the numbers that they made up, the female wrestlers on the main rosters, came to about 23 wrestlers. So there's 23 of them there that we know are in it. So, and then when you take into account, there's going to be about 2 or 3 NXTs, like surprise entrants in there. Because the previous year we saw Bianca Belair in there anyway. So possible that she will also do that again. So there's no doubt there'll be some NXTs, and like you said, 3 or 4 legends. So the numbers do actually add up right this year. I feel like it'll be a lot more natural, and actually that they've done a good job of bolstering up their ranks through the year that we just had.
Yeah, I guess like you. I mean, I suppose it does make sense as long as numbers wise, it will make sense. It's just that everyone's in it. You haven't really got. I mean, let's put it this way: there'll never be a qualifying match for this at the moment, will there? But I suppose as long as that happens. Now, this was really good last year. I mean, the match itself, I did think was good. I just didn't like the way it was presented, if I'm honest. But I did like the match, and I like the fact it went on last. And I actually said it was better than the Mal match of last year, to be fair. So, but for you this year, Matt, obviously particular names are coming out. People still suggesting perhaps Becky might even still be in this, but it could happen. But for you, Matt, what do you think here? Is this totally Charlotte, or do you think that there is something, they might go old school Royal Rumble and give, a complete unknown a go here, and this is a stage to take it, or do you think it's all about Charlotte here?
I feel for me it's a one horse race. I feel like Charlotte is the one who's coming in with the momentum. She's got that match. Everyone's been talking about this match before, like a year in advance before it was even made. So we're all anticipating that this is the path that they're going to take. I will only put a slight little footnote in that a dark horse possibly perhaps is Alexa Bliss, because she's just been cleared, and who knows what kind of plans they have with her, because they've always gone strong with Alexa. They've always placed her in a prominent position in the company, so I wonder how she'll fit in now she's cleared again. I
guess as well, you got to think if not saying I'm right, but if say Oscar did win, then you'd have to have someone going for another belt as well, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the person that they just go for Ronda. It could go the other way, so you don't know. I mean, they could play it a completely different way to put things. I mean, there's been some shouts for a call up like Shayna Baszler, Matt. I mean, is that way too early for her to get this, or would that be a good way of bringing her in? Or I see her being a part of it. I think she'll have a good. If they do use her, they should kind of make the most of her. They should give her like a decent outing, but I'm not sure she'll win it. But I do think they could put her over strong.
It's kind of like why I thought Becky would win earlier, because I feel like Becky could keep the title, and then say a few months down the line when Shayna does get a call up, it would be a good feud between them two. And then of course there's the possibility whether we get this whole schoolyard kind of thing, and then the 4 horsemen.
Yeah, don't want to go back to that again.
Way down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, we all remember that that promo, don't we? Oh dear, it was awful. I hope they never use that. So if there is another pick for you, Matt, I mean, might as well go for 2 here. It's going to be obviously Charlotte for me as well. Is there another one you might go for? Would it be Alexa Bliss there?
Yeah, my outside chance would be Alexa, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm going to... it's difficult. I'm going to throw out maybe Becky. Maybe she gets in this somehow. Maybe she'll attack something. I don't know. But I just got a feeling they like the whole chase thing. And I don't know. That's just my feeling. But we'll see what happens. But hopefully it'll be a good Women's Royal Rumble. And like I say, hopefully the commentators, do a better job of stop going on about the first one. We're at the second now. Stop. We don't have to be grateful anymore. And just get on with calling the match as opposed to anything else. It seemed like last year, Matt, every time someone's coming out, the commentators were kind of like laughing through, like it was happy stuff going on in the ring. And when someone's suplexing someone, it's just like, oh, that's so great to see them, that they're in the Royal Rumble at last. Doing that, it was just very odd. So I'm hoping it's a bit more serious this time for the female competitors, and we'll see what happens. Will it be another record to Charlotte's already impressive resume? She definitely has that already. Okay, Matt. Well, here comes another match then. Kind of out of nowhere, I suppose, as well. A bit like Sasha Banks, I suppose. The Universal Championship match here, Matt. Brock Lesnar. Seems like deja vu again, but not against Braun now, no, against Finn Balor, but not Finn Balor the Demon, apparently, because he's already come out and said people need to remember he's good as well. So that's what he said in some interview somewhere. So, that sort of ruled out the Demon, which is a bit of a shame. But Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, Matt. Again, I think I said to you a few weeks ago when this got announced and they said Braun wasn't going to be in it, I do feel a bit more happier that it isn't Braun and Brock again, and I do think this is a better match on paper and will be a better match on the night. But is this just a foregone conclusion, Matt, and that there's no way in hell that Finn Balor's winning this, and it's just a one-off great match, no doubt, but a foregone conclusion.
I'm going to go down that line of thought because I feel like Brock has conquered everyone, so to speak, and he's coming in this with. Every time we have a podcast, we always end up talking about Brock, and we always end up talking about the weight on his shoulders and about the actual victories that he carries, especially like people.
He's got money on his shoulders at the minute.
All of his victories over Roman Reigns. These are tremendous accolades that I don't feel like Vince McMahon is going to look at someone like Finn Balor. I feel like everything he said on Raw is true.
Yeah.
He's like Vince's mind. He believes it. He's like Finn is too small, and he's not the guy I want to be the face of my company. And I feel like that's what we will see. The outcome of the match be at Royal Rumble. I feel like Brock's going to come in there, and Finn will put up a valiant effort, and he's definitely capable of putting on a good match with Brock Lesnar, because like you said before, Brock does like these kind of guys, faster guys, guys that bring out the best in him. So of course Finn is that guy, but I feel like it's just another name to be added onto the list of the conquered. No,
I'm with you there, and it's amazing, isn't it? Brock Lesnar's track record now, it's got to be up there with the most elite WWE performers, I would imagine. His win-loss record must be pretty decent by now, I would imagine. Probably one of the few. And in a match like this, I mean, I've never known, Matt, I've got to just talk about Finn Balor here. I've never known WWE to do such a bad job of just, repeatedly saying how small Finn Balor is. I'm like, why are you doing that so much? Because, they're making such a big deal out of this, but yet they never really spoke about it that much with AJ. They didn't, certainly we knew about Daniel Bryan, but they're talking about this as if it's the first time it's David versus Goliath, when actually Daniel Bryan, we've already had that, and we saw how effective Daniel Bryan could be. And, if you think about it, it actually got turned into quite a legit match. I mean, it was probably more closer between Daniel Bryan and Brock than it was Braun and Brock by the end of it. If you go back to the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, it was over in, a couple of minutes. So I think that, the WWE have done a terrible job here with Finn Balor. I mean, he's basically saying to the audience now, this guy is too small, and he's like some sort of cruiserweight. So I was really disappointed in WWE for doing that. Would it be a sort of major? Would you sort of pop, Matt, if he did come out as the Demon and you saw that entrance? Would that sort of be a decent thing to happen, or do you think that they're saving that because they know the Bowler counts the record as the Demon on WWE TV is that he's unbeaten, and they're just waiting for that, and they probably wouldn't want to waste it. I don't know, but would you like to see him come out as? Would that add something more if it just come out of nowhere, Matt, on the night?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone would think that would be a good idea, because it's so rare that it's really cool when it actually happens. And it's got that kind of mystique about it, a bit like the Undertaker used to have with his entrance. And it was ominous, and you knew that you was going to see something special when it came out. So I feel like it is something good. But the way that Finn spoke about it in the interview when he confirmed that he wouldn't be the demon, and he said it's like a crutch and he relies on it too much.
Come on.